Thank you for viewing the Live Well Northern Kentucky Worksite Wellness Application Overview webinar. I am Kelly Schwegman, a health educator with the Northern Kentucky Health Department, and this webinar was created to provide background on the Live Well Worksite Wellness Recognition Initiative and take you through the components of the application. This initiative is a component of the overall Live Well Northern Kentucky movement, which provides Northern Kentucky with a common vision to build a movement towards a culture of good health. Live Well Northern Kentucky has three focus areas: physical activity, healthy eating, and tobacco-free environments. These efforts expand into all aspects of the community coalitions, work sites, schools, and faith communities. Throughout this webinar, you will understand the importance of focusing on wellness in the workplace, learn best practice elements of a worksite wellness program, identify application requirements and components for your worksite to become a Live Well Northern Kentucky recognized worksite, understand the resources and technical assistance available to worksites that apply, and determine how to advance your worksite wellness program. So to begin, let's talk about what worksite wellness is. Worksite wellness is an organized employer-sponsored program designed to support employees as they adopt and sustain behaviors that reduce health risks, improve quality of life, enhance personal effectiveness, and benefit the organization's bottom line. Why is worksite wellness important? American adults spend a substantial portion of their waking hours at their place of work. In addition, approximately half of American adults have a chronic disease, many of which are preventable. Heart disease, stroke, cancer, type 2 diabetes, obesity, and arthritis are among the most common, costly, and preventable of all health problems. Many believe the majority of healthcare costs are incurred by treating the elderly. However, spending on working adults account for 2/3 of healthcare costs. And chronic disease can contribute to an increase in health-related expenses for employers and employees and lead to lower productivity and/or days of work missed. Worksite wellness programs should be viewed as an investment in the business's most important asset, its employees. Employers have a tremendous opportunity to help their employees see the value of adopting healthier behaviors so that they can live healthier lives. Workplace wellness programs can be used to drive and influence healthy behaviors, bringing benefit to the employer, the employee, and the community. Some of the benefits of worksite wellness programs for employees include weight reduction, improved physical fitness, increased stamina, lower levels of stress, increased well-being, self-image, and self-esteem, an opportunity to build and practice positive health behaviors. Some benefits for employers include enhanced recruitment and retention of healthy employees, reduced healthcare costs, decreased rates of illness and injury, reduced employee absenteeism, improved employee relations and morale, and increased productivity. When building a wellness program, there are 7 best practice elements: leadership, which is senior level support; relevance, which is based on employee interest and needs assessments; partnership, or having a wellness team in place at the worksite; implementation, having an action plan on how you're going to implement your wellness program; that it's comprehensive and includes programming, policy, system, and environmental change efforts. There's a communication plan for both the employees and for upper management; that it's data-driven through use of evaluation tools to measure effectiveness; and that there's compliance with policies or any practices that are put in place. All of this helps to create a culture of health at the workplace. The culture of health means employees' health and well-being are valued, supported, and promoted through workplace wellness programs, policies, and environments. It extends beyond individual health improvement programs, incorporating the value of employee health into the overall mission and purpose of the company. Leadership visibly demonstrates support for wellness initiatives so that the employees feel comfortable joining in on these efforts. In addition, a culture of health in the workplace means that it is all-inclusive and that it provides options for all staff regardless of age or disability to participate in wellness programs, and that these programs meet employees where they are. Wellness programs should be designed to support and encourage employees all along the continuum of behavior change, from those that don't understand the importance or see the need to focus on a health behavior, to those that are ready to act but they need to learn a certain behavior and learn the skills. And then there's employees that just need the environment to support, the environment and policies to support them in maintaining their behavior. So this just kind of talks a little bit about the stages of change that you go through as you try to change your behavior. So again, we start at the bottom with you're unaware of a problem, goes through the continuum all the way up to the top where you're at maintenance stage, and you just need the support of the environment and the policies to help you maintain that. So the Live Well Worksite Wellness Recognition Program is a free voluntary certification designed to recognize and honor worksites that are committed to supporting healthy choices in physical activity, healthy eating, and tobacco-free environments. Worksites complete an online application which assesses their current worksite wellness practices. Points are associated with each of the best practice components we just discussed, and once submitted, the worksite will receive a score based on their application submission of either bronze, silver, or gold level status. Recognized worksites will have access to technical assistance from Live Well Northern Kentucky partners to further improve the health of their work environment, and they'll also be connected with valuable resources to advance their worksite wellness programs. So a quick overview of the timeline before we get into the application. Starting May 1 through the end of June, the 2017 application cycle will be open. You can visit the link that I'll provide at the end of this webinar to fill out the application and submit during that 2-month time frame. In July, final scoring of the applications will occur. In August, we'll notify worksites of their final score and their Live Well Worksite Wellness designation level. And then from that point to the next application cycle in 2018, technical assistance will be available to those recognized worksites to help improve the worksite wellness initiatives in their workplace. So a little background on the worksite wellness application. The Live Well Northern Kentucky worksite application was modified from Fitness for Life around Grant County's worksite wellness recognition program. Fitness for Life around Grant County, or FLAG, is a local physical activity coalition in Grant County, which is also a 501c3 organization and has done wonderful things in that community. FLAG's worksite wellness program has been in place for over 10 years and is highly recognized in the community. FLAG's application and the Live Well Northern Kentucky worksite application both follow those best practice elements that we've been talking about through this webinar. And just as a reminder, these are those elements here: senior level support, wellness team, assessment, action plan, programming, support environments, and policies. Those are the three that were grouped as one and comprehensive. And then there's evaluation. So now we're going to review each of these components as it relates to the application. The first component is senior level support. So here, this is where it's really important to have support of upper management on wellness initiatives so that the employees feel comfortable participating in the activities. A successful application will include a letter of support from senior management. If you are a returning worksite that applied in 2016, if you already submitted a letter of support from senior management, you don't need to submit another one unless there's been a change in senior management. So otherwise, we have your letter from last year, and that will be fine. But any new work sites, a successful application will have that letter of support from senior management. The second component of the application looks at the wellness team. Points are associated with if there's a wellness team or a designated wellness leader in place, how long they've been in place, how often the team meets, and then if the wellness team or the wellness leader is able to attend trainings related to wellness, such as watching webinars like this or attending a face-to-face training. So on the application, there's various points associated with this section. Third component looks at assessment tools. Listed on this sheet are the various types of assessment tools that we list on the application, such as employee needs and interest surveys, if you implement health screenings, such as biometric screenings, conduct a health culture audit, or any other assessment you do to gather existing data related to wellness. These types of assessments help you to build your programs that meet the real interests and needs of the employees. A successful application, if you select that your worksite currently conducts any type of these assessments, then we ask for a copy of those assessment tools. We don't need the specific data, but just proof that there's an assessment tool in place. For returning applicants, We only need copies of any new assessment tools you've implemented since the 2016 application. So otherwise, if you are continuing to use the same assessment tools as you did last year, then we already have those on file. The fourth section of the application looks at action plans. It looks at if there's an action plan that is currently in place and if there are clear goals and objectives that are written for that action plan. Action plans are the foundation of the wellness program. It outlines your goals, objectives, and action steps to achieve them, so the what, why, and when. It also helps you outline what resources are needed and helps you determine a timeline for completion. Successful applications, if you select on the application that you currently have an action plan, we would ask for a copy of that action plan. This will apply to new and returning work sites, as action plans are fluid and they will often be updated on a continuous basis. The next section of the application looks at what types of programming is currently being offered at the work site. There's basically two types of worksite wellness programming. There's health awareness programs and health behavior change programs. Health awareness programs increase participant level of awareness or interest in a health topic. However, actual behavior change does not usually happen as a result of these programs, but it is a first step in leading to behavior change. So these types of programs are good for those that are at the beginning stages of, if you remember, the stages of change where they either don't realize there's a need to focus on a behavior change or they aren't quite sure what to do. So that's a good place to start for them. Health behavior change programs help participants work to build skills necessary to successfully change a less healthy behavior. It provides a goal for participants to work towards. So it might be a 4-week or 6-week challenge of tracking how many fruits and vegetables they eat or how many steps they're taking. Participants are provided resources to help them reach their goal. There is a tracking sheet. There might be additional educational materials given to them to help build those skills. And on the application, there lists some samples of each type of program. And what a worksite would do is just go on, and if you currently implement any of those types of programs, you would just mark those and points are associated with each of those. The next section of the application looks at supportive environments. So this includes system and environmental changes, and there are examples of these types of changes on the application. And again, what you'll do is if the worksite currently implements any of these types of system or environmental enhancements, you'll check those and points will be associated with that. And supportive environments help to really provide sustainability within the worksite. With programs, they're often short and then they're gone. It's 4-week program, 6-week program, and then they stop. And there's nothing to encourage the employee to continue that behavior. Supportive environments provide that encouragement by having an environment that's always there to encourage them, to support them to continue that behavior. The next section of the application looks at policy. Point is associated with the different types of wellness policies your workplace may have. Some examples of policies would be 100% tobacco-free grounds policy, healthy food and beverage policy for company-sponsored meetings, or healthy food and beverage vending policy, or a policy on flexible work schedules. So policies should be a part of supportive environments to help support those changes that are made in the environment. And then also supportive environments are important to policy, because if you have a policy that requires healthy food at meetings, then the supportive environment is that there are healthy food available at the meetings. So again, points are associated with each type of policy that you have. A successful application, any policies that you indicate on the application as the organization currently having, we would ask for a copy of those policies. If you're a returning applicant, we only need copies of any new policies that have been implemented since your previous application, or any updates to any policies that you had submitted before. And the final section of the application looks at evaluation tools that are currently being implemented at your work site. Evaluation is really important in terms of showing the effectiveness of a worksite wellness program. So on the application, it lists different types of evaluation tools. Any of those types of tools that are currently being implemented, you would just select, and there's points associated with that. Some examples of evaluation tools are related to participation, how many are participating in specific worksite wellness initiatives or programs, Satisfaction surveys, are employees satisfied with the type of wellness environment that's there? If there's been changes, are they satisfied with those changes? You can look at changes and improvements in knowledge, attitude, and behavior. You can also evaluate the environment and the culture as you're making changes in policies and environmental changes. Are there changes to the environment and culture, and how are those progressing? And you can also evaluate using biometric screenings, do kind of a pre-post, and look at cholesterol, blood pressure, weight, blood sugar measures, and compare pre to post to see if there have been improvements in those. In a successful application, submission of a copy of any of the evaluation measures indicated as an organization having on the application. We would ask for a copy of that. And again, for returning applicants, you only need to submit any new evaluation tools. If you still use the same evaluation tools as your last application, we have those on file, and so you're good to go. So those are the main scoreable areas of the application. And once you get on and look at the application, it'll be really easy for you to fill out. I just wanted to give you kind of the basic components and the pieces so that once you get on there, you can kind of better follow along. There is a bonus section on the application, and this is to recognize work sites that maybe have received recognition from other either local, regional, or national worksite wellness organizations, or organizations that focus on worksite wellness efforts. So there's some most common recognition programs listed on the application, and if your worksite has received recognition from any of those programs, you just click on those, and then that'll give you some bonus points. Also, if your worksite doesn't have any recognition currently from those organizations, this Live Well Worksite Wellness application can help set you up for your organization to be able to apply for those national or other regional recognition programs. So it's a really great way to kind of pull all of your worksite wellness information together so that you can then go apply for bigger, greater things. So once your worksite applies and receives recognition, you'll have access to an online resource guide. And this link is what will take you to that guide. And this will have resources and toolkits related to physical activity, nutrition, and tobacco-free environments to help you improve the environment of your worksite. These will be updated throughout the year as we come across more great resources, or if you have resources, worksite wellness resources that you use, if you let me know, we can add those to the list as well. And in addition, recognized worksites will receive technical assistance throughout the course of this application year. We can provide technical assistance on sample policy templates, action plan guidance, programming ideas, sample assessments, sample evaluation tools, whatever you need to help move your worksite wellness program forward. And also, you'll have opportunity throughout the year to come together with other recognized worksites to learn and share effective worksite wellness strategies. So as I mentioned, by filling out the application, there are points associated. So at the end, you'll have an overall score, and that score will either put you in a bronze, silver, or gold designation. And so this is a sample of what that artwork looks like for each level. This artwork will be available as a window cling to help you promote your success and your efforts on your worksite wellness programming to the community. You can also have this to use to put on your website, and there'll also be other ways that you'll be recognized as well throughout the year, newspaper articles and things like that. And finally, here is a link to the application. It's the same link as the resource guide, so if you click on either one of those, it'll take you to the same spot, and you'll just find that application and click on it and begin filling that out there. This will be emailed out as well a few times throughout the next 2 months, just to kind of as a reminder. So if you have any questions related to the Live Well Northern Kentucky worksite application, you can contact myself, Kelly Schweigman. My email's there, or my coworker, Elizabeth Steffer. If you have any overall questions related to Live Well Northern Kentucky, you can contact Nancy Costello, and her email is there as well. Thank you very much for your time, and I hope that your worksite applies for the 2017 Live Well Northern Kentucky Worksite Wellness Recognition Program. Thank you.